So I was just thinking about this and decided to do a small discussion based upon, I think, and this is my opinion right now, and I could probably make this empirical should I choose to do so, but let's just talk right now. So I'm along the lines of thinking that a lot of imagery and symbology is tainted and people are taking things based upon what people are people's opinions are, and how they want to draw up conclusions and schemes and stuff like that, and it's relative to the sign Capricorn. Capricorn in the entertainment industry and drugs and stuff like that, and how it's all associated and is being pinned on this devil ideology. Now, the reason why I think that there's something tainted with this, and I'm not a tarot reader, I keep getting suggestions to do this, but I do know from seeing some tarot readings that the devil card is associated with consumption, excessive habits to the point where they can be, just pleasures, the pleasures of life. I'm going to keep it at that. But I did hear something about excessive sometimes, or just doing more, or excessively doing more than you would naturally or normally need to do as an individual, right? So we'll keep it at that. But this could be along the lines of food. This could be along the lines of entertainment. This could be along the lines of sex. This could be along the lines of different things apart from drugs. But it's associated in tarot with those types of things and clinging on to those things for pleasurable purposes, right? Now, depending on what you practice, what you believe, and what you do in life, you may see that as a negative, and other people may see that as a positive, as, why do we have these five senses if we are not subjected to being pleasured, experiencing these five senses in a way that serves us correctly, in a belief that we are human and we have the human right to do so. And then you have your discussions of philosophers who say, there has to be a sense of stoicism, there has to be a sense of discipline, and this, that, and the third. And this is that's a great insert to start this whole thing, because if Capricorn is the sign of responsibility, how is it so closely associated with these excessive pleasures, right? So I like to look at it as perhaps there's a balance, right, of the work hard, play hard ideology. And because Capricorn, the energy I'm talking about, the sign, I'm not talking about people, y'all, so just calm down, all right? So the responsibility that's associated with it, in order for it to believe or to actualize the recognition and status that comes with being so responsible, it gets balanced out by the Capricorn energy displaying some fun. Now, when you look at this as a Capricorn as a goat, right? If you look at baby goats, like, they're like the cutest fucking thing. And it's hard for me to even say cute, but they are like the cutest fucking things in the world that you can look at, play and bounce around. They play. So when they say, okay, then this is the devil's playground, Earth, I get it. The devil, if we're talking about the devil, Lucifer, however you want to pin this, right, wants you to play on this land. It's like, you made it. Nigga, you made it. You know what I'm saying? Out of all those semens and eggs, you made it. Welcome. So play on the playground, right? This is how I look at it. But what happens is this individual, and Capricorn energy in general, y'all, goes through so much discipline and some type of, just rigorous training as children. And this is most Capricorn people that I come across, y'all. So this is for real. As children, it's just like they go through so much, or that even sometimes in some situations they're deprived of being that child, like being that kid, like, or whatever the case may be. And they just have rougher upbringings. They have harsher upbringings, harsher environments. A lot of the times Capricorns are the oldest out of the family, siblings, and so they are caretakers at the same time as being children. So, but it doesn't stop there, though. It doesn't stop there. check this out. As they get older, as the Capricorn energy gets older, it begins to lighten up a bit. It begins to age well. The sign and the energy of Capricorn is the best ager out of the zodiac. It's because they have strengthened their bones and their movements and their ligaments to a degree of such repetition that when they reach, I'd say 40s, let's use 40 as a milestone, that they start looking younger, they start feeling younger, and they start even behaving younger. They start smiling and stuff like that. And this is not a shot to you Capricorns who are usually bubbly. You know what I mean? I know some of y'all got different natal charts out there. You're not what I frame the usual Capricorn energy to be, but you get what I'm saying, right? Somewhere along these lines, y'all relate. And so this makes me ask, where does the drugs come in and where does the entertainment industry come in when Capricorn naturally rules over the 10th house, right? We must ask this question to get to the point that I'm trying to make here. So I can see, because that the 10th house deals with recognition and status, that's where people are probably grabbing this from. Because no matter what, when you're a celebrity, when you're a movie star, when you're a musician, when you're an artist, you're going to obtain some type of notoriety that puts you in that limelight, which some people call a target. Some people just call popular. It just is what it is, right? You're on the stage. So that's where it comes from. However, let it be known that the Capricorn energy is also responsible for the building and the foundation of enterprise, of business. So it's not necessarily that it's only this entertainer that is at the pinnacle, or should I say it's only this entertainer that's there, that's being taunted, if you will, but there's a foundation, there's a whole crew or conglomerate of people that act as the foundation of this entertainer or celebrity that's at the pinnacle of the pyramid, so to speak. Okay, so what happens here is this: the recognition and the status that's associated with Capricorn, it takes responsibility to uphold that position, even if it's not immediately rewarded to them. And in most times, and we're talking about the energy now, in most times it takes discipline, work ethic, methodology, as Capricorn requests, right? And this goes for anyone who's in the limelight or obtains that recognition status to where they're at the pinnacle of the pyramid. So what is a simple way to erode that structure? Well, it definitely would be if you can get to the top, if you can get to the position holder with something that can weaken it or dilute its strength, then that's a way, right? Or you can try eroding the foundation. And so what I need people to, my point is, what I need people to hear and listen to right now is, drugs are a 12th house Pisces concept. They're not 10th house. They're not it's for Neptune, of course, right? Neptune is about the world of glamour, right? Fantasy world. We build these fantasies through film and stuff like that. And that's how we create the veil of what is someone's psychological reality and how it differs from another, because they're on a whole different mindset or different dimension or whatever the case may be, right? That's Pisces stuff. And as Piscean energy, drugs is there, and you can look this up, like chemistry and stuff like that, like chemists and what's that other stuff? It'll come to me, but these things, they are used to put people under, like to hypnotize people. And what it does is it kind of brings people to Pisces world, right? When you go under to get your tooth pulled and stuff like that, it just brings people into Pisces world to where you're now on the other side, so to speak, or you've tapped into this spiritual base that you wouldn't have been able to do so for those more conscious energies, right? The more even maybe extroverted, we might say, in this situation. And once these extroverted individuals or energies get a piece of that or feel some of that, it becomes what? Addicting, or it can be addictive, right? So people tap into that. The next thing you know, they've blended the two and they start functioning as addicts. They become functioning addicts. And in some situations or nations, you will see this become normalized, right? It will become normalized. However, I don't think it's fair to blame the devil for these consequences that are negative in the realm of that industry. First of all, entertainment industry is the fifth house anyway, which is a Leo sponsored sector of the wheel. We'll get to that on another note, but I don't think it's fair that the devil gets all of the blame for this. If the devil represents Capricorn and Capricorn represents the 10th house and the 10th house represents the foundation and the building of structuring of business or enterprise, then that's what it represents. Not this what is this thing that is being accused of, this stigma that is under right now. And I think people are toying with that a lot. I think it's a lot of people, it's just creating so much of a blur because it becomes challenging to differentiate what is supposed to be healthy and what is not supposed to be healthy. It's like, are you saying that individuals can't have a good time unless they're getting high? Because, I mean, if you look at it in the Piscean realm, in the 12th house realm, the drugs and stuff that's only used for being a chemist, hypnosis, and healing patients that need assistance, right? It's not used for this whole recreational thing. Again, the fifth house is a recreational place. That's the entertainment industry. So the people who have coined that term, these chemicals are for recreational use. These are the people who need to be checked. And I know who they are. I've seen some of them. There's probably more, but I've definitely experienced some of them who use this term loosely, like it's something that is, and you know, it's very obvious to see what it is. It's like, okay, well, how can we let illegal drug use slip through the cracks to be seen as something that maybe people could get a slap on the wrist for, or still monetize off of it too? Like, you know, take them in for a day, give them a fine, whatever the case may be, give them 15 or 30 years, RICO law, whatever the fuck, right? So I don't want to extend it too far. I just want to put this out as the basis of this discussion. Should it warrant some more discussion, shall be it. But I had a dream not too long ago that led me up to this, and I was doing some time, and before this I would have dreams and stuff, but I was not near as clear as I am on the interpretations of them now. I mastered this, and this dream had a lot to do with it. I was going to my old neighborhood. I had like those things that the cartoon people have on their shoulder when they're running away and stuff like that. So I had one of those things on me, and I was going on an adventure, and I went to my old neighborhood. I went to a few people's houses that I used to deal with when I was in the street. And, you know, they were doing the usual thing we usually do, drinking, smoking, and all that. So I was just like taking the alcohol that they gave me and pouring it down the toilet and like almost preaching. So I was kind of preachy, like, yo, y'all don't need this, you don't need this, that, and the third. And this was just not like me. I'm telling y'all, this is not like me, but you got to be reminded. I was in a prison, a 12th house institution where I was getting clean and stuff like that. I was clean for months now. So, you know, I'm pouring out all of the poison and stuff, and then I'm just adventuring, going through the neighborhoods, and now I'm going to a newer neighborhood, and everything was just becoming clear to me. And then I jumped up and I started flying through the sky, and I just kept going and kept going and kept going, and I was just like, yo, I've never flew this high before. I'm actually in the stars. And then my breath became getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and I was about to take my last breath. I seen the stars, and then I woke up, boom. So now that just translates today into I'll be able to interpret the stars by getting clean and being sober and seeing things in my dreams. You know, I didn't notice at the time, but now I reflect back on it, that's what it was. And this dream repeated itself. I'll speak about how that dream was repeated later on in life to symbolize even something further to confirm it. And what's your thoughts?